Okay guys, so I'm sure you've seen on other videos that we've been trying to hatch some peacocks and we've had a few issues with hatching those eggs. So we're going to show you a solution for that. And then also I'm going to show you something the pigs have been up to that's also caused a little problem on the homestead. Alright guys, so like a lot of you know, we get lots of bad weather around here in Oklahoma, especially in the spring and summer. Just last night we had a power issue where lights were flickering inside, so on the homestead that can create a real problem. So that's why we're thankful to have Jackery sponsoring today's video to give us some backup power for those situations. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an update on the different birds we have right now. A lot of them have been laying eggs and we've been hatching some of those eggs. And then we also have the camera over on our baby chick and our baby ducks. So let's go check those out. Okay, so like you guys have probably seen on other videos, we've had a couple broody hens. We actually had one hatch out 2 chicks. And rather than them stay out here with her, we took them in the house to put them under a heat lamp. So of course we need to make sure the power's always going for that to keep them warm and keep them safe. But let's check out what's going on here now. What? They just did that. So this one I just cleaned out today so we could add new shavings. And I closed it up, but I guess they didn't like that. So oh, it still stings. So I kept that closed. Okay, so this one, I don't know if she's the one that hatched out the last eggs or not.
She took over.
They've been taking turns. She's actually pretty nice.
I was rubberhead. I don't hear any chicks hatching, do you?
No.
Or squeaking or whatever, they're chirping. Ooh, that one is that one is ready to hatch, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, I think it's like piping.
Is it?
Whatever.
She's about to hatch one. That one needs to go in the heat lamp too.
Oh, okay, we'll just check
We'll
on her
have to
later.
Yeah, we'll have to come back out here in just a little bit and mess with them.
Okay, so this is where the other 2 chicks hatched. But like I said, just obviously it being off the ground, we're not going to leave 2 chicks out there. And then they would be out in the elements and everything, so they're safer in the house under the heat lamp. So we got 2 chicks, and then obviously we maybe have a couple more going. Good job, Mama. Good job. Okay, let's go check on Sunny and Coco and Dottie over in the horse trailer. Are you guys scared of something? They're going to the trailer. Okay, so in here, here's where we have our 2 ducks, which they're actually probably big enough to be out of here. We're just waiting a little bit longer. And then we also have Dottie. She was the little chick that we actually incubated ourselves in the house. She's the only one that survived from that. But of course we needed power to be able to do that for like 20, what do you do, the chick, 21 days? Okay, so the reason that Dottie was the lone survivor out of those eggs was because the incubator had been going off and on. So it's a critical thing to have power going consistently so that you can incubate your eggs.
So with that particular incubator, any little flicker of the storm, the wind, it will actually kick the incubator off and it doesn't sound an alarm for us. So we didn't know. Yeah. So if we had it set up on a Jackery or whatever.
Something would have been.
Yes, we wouldn't have lost them.
Yeah. So in here, I can open it up.
Zoom in.
I was just going to tell you guys in here, this isn't as critical as like the incubator, but we have our camera back there. And that has helped us keep an eye on these 3 because they're still really little. And so we don't want to lose them to weather or predators or anything. So we have the camera that of course uses power. So we need that to make sure, you know, that stays up and going to keep an eye on them. Coco. Which one do you think's Coco and which one do you think's Sunny?
Sunny's the white one.
Sunny was yellow. Now she's white.
Yeah,
and then people have also let me and Hope know Dottie is probably Dougie or something. But Hope did say he's probably a rooster. But
yeah,
she named it Dottie because it had a little dot on its head.
Oh, really? I was wondering.
Okay, so over here we have the 2 peacocks, Bobby and Ricky. And then we have our new 2 peahens. What did Hope? She named them Patty and Penny. Pretty sure.
I can't keep up.
So they have been laying eggs pretty consistently. There's none in here right now. Actually, Gabby and Gracie decided to eat 3 the other day, but that's a whole nother story. But so these peacock eggs, we actually had a couple of them that should have hatched, but they were in that same incubator I was talking about where we lost power. So there was actually baby peacocks that had developed somewhat, but they weren't able to hatch. So now that we have the Jackery, we're going to be able to back that up so we're not going to lose any more eggs. Right now we actually have probably 8 to 10, I'll have to count, but we have some that should be hatching in the next couple weeks. Okay, so let's go in the house and we'll show you the setup for the 2 baby chicks under the heat lamp and also the incubator. Okay, so what we're going to be showing you guys today is the Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus and also the Jackery Battery Pack 2000 Plus.
And we also have some solar that we'll be hooking up later on in the video. I got some interesting stuff to tell you guys about that.
So one thing that I really like is since the Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus is a little bit heavy for me, I like that it has this little handle here, so just like a suitcase or luggage, you can pull it up and then you're able to roll it. Okay, so Jackery's made it really easy for you where we've got this one labeled A, this labeled B. So we're going to take the Jackery here and put the A right here in this DC expansion port. So we're going to hook that up. And then with the battery pack here, that one's light. We're going to use B, find B back here. So there's A or B. So we're going to do B. Those are hooked up.
Yep, so they make it very user-friendly
Yeah.
now. So this is the part I like. Brandy, if you remember, we've had Jackery for years.
Yeah.
And do you remember the first time we used a Jackery when the power went out at the old farmhouse?
Yeah, I was using a blow dryer to try to dry off little chicks. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep. And we got a video on that too.
Yeah,
So they go,
yeah, they actually did. We thought they were going to die and freeze.
They would have died, yeah.
Yeah, we used a little blow dryer and brought them back.
So Brandy has seen myself use Jackery for years. Like I said, I get to test out lots of power banks, and I always get the question, which one's your favorite? I don't know if I can answer that, but I can answer this. We've had Jackery the longest.
Yes.
So I'll step in here for a second and show you guys some of the specs. Brandy knows. Obviously, you guys know what these are. These are 120 outlets, like your regular household plug-ins. So you got 4 of them there, and then they comes with the USB A and a USB-C charging ports. Also comes with the DC 12 volt. And my favorite thing, and Brandy probably doesn't appreciate this too much because I'm the one that handles this the most, but it has a 30 amp outlet. So I've had a Jackery 2000 before, but I've never had this new one with the 30 amp. I've told you what the 30 amp does, so do you remember what I use it for?
That's what hooks up to the transfer switch
Yep.
to be able to control all the house.
Yes, yep, exactly. So I'll show you guys the transfer switch that I hooked up in just a little bit. But you guys can see right here, Brandy's not like a really spec person. You kind of let me handle all that.
Yeah.
So
I just know the uses of, as you can hear in the background, these little chicks.
Mm-hmm.
If the power went off last night, like it flickered on and off, we would need to keep them warm.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm looking at is more like the application of what we can use it for on the homestead.
yeah, so that's what's so cool about the better technology it comes out, the better usage you get from products like the Jackery, that you're actually able to run your whole house now off these. These aren't just for camping and going RVing and stuff. They're actually good power backups for your house. And that's what I love about them now. So with this Jackery 2000 Explorer Plus, and Brandy showed you guys the Jackery Power Battery Pack 2000 Plus, it makes a total of 3,000 watts. That's consistent run time, so you can run your hair dryer, like Brandy said, your heat lamp, your refrigerator, your freezer, things of that nature, air conditioner. But the cool thing about it has a 6,000 watt surge. And for you people who don't know what that is, it's like big power tools take a big surge to start the machines up, and then it goes back down to their normal running time, running wattage. So 6,000 is a huge deal.
Okay, so I'm going to show you our 2 little chicks here that our broody hen hatched out, and then show you kind of like their little setup. So right now, we've switched around because they get the boxes dirty, but we just have them in this little box right now. There's only 2 of them, and got their feet in their water, but here's the part that we need the power for. So we have heat lamps, but this is kind of like a little heat plate.
We like that better because it's in the house.
Yeah, because then we don't have to worry about the heat lamp is metal and it can touch things. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to catch anything on fire.
You know, I haven't seen them in about a week.
Aren't they so cute?
They're getting big too.
They're going to start great.
They're going to be flying out of this soon.
So this would be very handy to be able to hook this up to the Jackery. So right now we could just have it plugged into the Jackery just to use it for power, but if we have the transfer switch hooked up, that's where if the power goes out unexpectedly, it's already going to take over and you're not going to have to worry about them losing heat.
Yeah, you just go over there and you just flip the switch.
Yeah.
So Brandy's going to plug it in.
So right now it shows it's 96% charged. There's no input, of course. So let's see what this little lamp.
That's the thing about these heat. What's that called?
Plate.
A heat plate. It doesn't use as much wattage.
Obviously.
And I think it shuts itself off and comes back and forth. I'm not real sure. Let's try the heat lamp itself that we've gotten away from.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to clip on to different.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
that's hot. See?
Oh, so I was saying input. No, this is output.
No, output. So the output for that itself is 272 watts.
Says it would run for like 8.4 hours.
Yep.
So that did have a little output.
But see the difference though, how much that has?
260.
Okay, now unplug that, Brandy, and plug this one back.
If we had more chicks, we would have to use this as they get bigger because they can't all fit under the heat plate.
Yeah, that's just a good.
So this shows that this is just what the Jackery could do by itself right now,
Yeah.
but this isn't with the transfer switch. It would be.
Couple things. So with the transfer switch, how I got hooked up. It will run all these outlets in the bathroom, so you can have your heat lamp hooked up. You can run your blow dryer.
Yeah.
You can turn your lights
Well,
on.
and of course, like the hair dryer, we think that as like a luxury item. But when it was an emergency, we weren't using it for our hair. It was literally to dry the
Yeah.
chicks who had got wet outside.
So that's what's so cool about the transfer switch I'll show is that you don't have to come over here and plug these things individually because you have your house hooked. You're burning me. You have your house hooked up.
Yeah.
So that's what's cool about that.
Okay, so this is the transfer switch that he was talking about. So right now, he just has these labeled where this one's for the fridge, this is for the master lights, and this is for the master mini split. And so if the power was to go out and we wanted the fridge, like we had a lot of food in there, we weren't wanting to go bad, you would just flip that up to Gen. And then depending on, what's hooked up to these, like if we had a CPAP machine in our master bedroom, that might be where, okay, we want to push that one up.
Yep.
So you just see which ones you really need, and then you go ahead and flip those up.
I will say this was like one of the easiest things I've hooked up electrical to do. Like it was super easy to do. And you guys, if you're not comfortable setting one of these up, you can always hire an electrician to do it. Take them about probably 30 to 45 minutes.
I would say the best way, if you're not using this on a daily basis, you should always just leave this hooked up. So then when that emergency does happen, you just flip the switches. But right here is where he was talking about earlier. So you just push that on there.
Yep, plug it in and you're ready to go. So if the power started flickering or went off, Brandy or the girl just come over and just flip the switch up. And now you got power again. And like you said earlier, Brandy, it depends on how much you have this charge, obviously,
Yeah.
how long it's going to run stuff. We ran the mini split for several hours. It worked great. And the master lights, you're probably going to run it for a few days. Refrigerator, probably a couple a day and a half, just depending on how much outage watts you guys are using.
That's why with however you're going to charge them, whether it's through your house, through a battery, or solar, you should always just keep them charged up so when those emergencies do happen. Okay, so if you're not wanting to use the transfer switch, or if you don't have that capability of getting that, then you can also, we're going to show you how you can run appliances and other things just using this Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus.
So all I did is plug it into extension cord, plug it into our microwave. Brandy, start the microwave and I'll show them how many watts it's using. So the initial surge is it's 1700. So that's where the 6000 comes in handy when I talk about the initial surge. Now for a microwave that has a high surge and keeps a high surge. So right now Brandy can run the microwave for 2.5 hours and she would be good to go. Now it's kind of bumping back down.
How high did it go up?
To 1700.
Oh, but still not, it didn't go over the 6,000.
No, it won't. We don't have anything that would. So yeah, so right there consistently, she could have ran that for an hour at that much wattage and that being charged at 95% and this at 30%. So it's actually pretty good.
Okay, so here's the little incubator I was talking about. Let's see how many you got in there. Sorry they're dirty, but they're still gonna make a peacock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9. So this is letting us know that we've got 14 days left and it keeps the temperature and humidity, but we're gonna plug it into the Jackery and show you how much it's gonna pull on the Jackery.
Yep, so it's gonna be interesting to see just how long that would run those.
Yeah.
Okay, so anytime it flickers, that goes off.
Yeah. And it takes a little bit to get the temperature back up,
So she's going to do a test run for you guys, and we've had to deal with this. So what's crazy about this, Brandy, like that's running, right?
Yeah.
It's taking so less power, it's not even showing up on here. So right now, it says you can literally run it for infinity.
Just like the heat,
Yeah.
the heat plate.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
But I said, even though it doesn't take very much that's like visual on there, it's still very important to have it plugged in, because if there's any lapse in it, then you won't have the eggs hatch.
Yep.
So
And we learned
that
the
just
hard way.
shows we could have this and the heat plate going and be able to do lots of other stuff around the house for those emergency situations.
Pretty cool.
So as we were reading up on this new Jackery, we thought something was really neat about it, that there's 3 ways to charge. You can use the solar panels, use the house itself, or there's also a car charger capability. But the neat thing is that it's smart enough to know when you have the solar hooked up and the house that it's gonna run off of the solar panels first before it does on the electric.
Yep. That's what I thought.
From your house.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
So we're talking about like on a homestead, all the emergency situations, but just know too that there's medical emergency things that can happen where if you don't have power and you need a CPAP machine, or you have someone in the family who has oxygen at night or a ventilator, all kinds of different situations that you could use the Jackery to help with those situations also.
That's what's cool about this, Brandy, is that this will run so many different things like you said. And always, guys, always look, this isn't going to run those things forever. So always make sure you keep this thing charged up, like Brandy said, with solar in your house and on the go. If you guys going on a trip, you can throw it in the back and charge it through your car.
Once again, we wanted to thank Jackery for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys are interested in getting a Jackery for yourself to have as a home backup for all those emergency situations, check out the description box and a pinned comment to get all the info there.
I'll tell you one of the main things that working the sulfur tornado in here locally, one of the main things when the power goes out, people want to charge their phones, Brandy.
Yeah.
And they want to have lights. Pretty important. You guys want to see and you want to be able to charge your phone to contact your loved ones. So that's where that comes in handy too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
Well, you've taken them with you and even been able to why did you use them when you went on your fishing trip? Was it power outage too?
Yes, and what's crazy about that, I may have some footage to show them. I took one with me, and there was a guy there that said he cannot sleep without a CPAP machine. Tornado was right across the lake, the one that hit Sulphur.
Yes. Oh, that's right. It was the same weekend.
Yes. So I took my Jackery 2000 and took it up there, and he thought I was joking whenever I told him I had a Jackery out there that could run a CPAP machine. He said, oh, okay, yeah. I went and got it. He goes, I've never seen one of these before.
Didn't he also use it for his coffee?
They made coffee. They cooked with it. They made coffee. They did all stuff. The cool thing about it is that it worked and got all of them fed, coffee, and he was able to sleep all night. It was pretty cool. Okay, Brandy, so what we have to do here now, you might want to feed them first so they will leave you alone while you do this.
I do. You want some food? Did you?
I'm going to come back and fill it up. You're getting so big. She's going to feed you. We're putting it on that tree over there, Brandy. Can she do it? Can you make it in there? That'll keep him occupied, won't it?
Hey, move your head.
You're like, what? I gotta quit talking on your video, Brandy. Your people are gonna get mad at me. They go, why is Dutch on your channel? So what are we doing now, Brandy?
Well, they knocked over their water, and so they do have their little pond to drink out of, but we're gonna fill up their water.
Okay.
Try to make it where they won't knock it over again. She needs to quit eating all her sister's food. You put it by this tree?
Over here, this one.
That's the one they scratched their booty on.
Well, they got this one over here they can scratch on. Ugh. Boy, they love their pond that me and Hope dug for them.
Yeah. Is that one too low?
Nope, I thought it was, but I watched them drinking out of that more than anything. Here, hold this, and I'll put this. Yeah, hold this down here so it doesn't fall off. I'll put the strap on there. That's the thing. They kept rubbing it and knocking it over. They use it for a back scratcher more than. Well, they drank out quite a bit. You hand that to me down there. Now this tree. It's going to be tilted a little bit, but I think we'll be okay.
That's probably better.
Once we fill it up, I'll be able to tighten it more. I'll get the hose for you. Is there any frogs in there?
Oh, I don't know. Hey, do you two have any frogs in your pond? Like Pearl and Percy do? Hi. Hi. Yeah. You're getting to be friendly, aren't you? You know that we come feed you? Yes, you're a good girl too. So I'm glad we have that pond. Little pond, but it still holds some water. So I'm glad we have that as a backup where if they do knock this over and we don't see it, you know, for the afternoon or something, they still can get water.
Yeah, because we'll check it in the morning and evening.
But there's a lot of hours in between they
Yes,
could knock it over. Have they pushed, do we need to move their shelter over? Have they pushed it into that?
Yeah, they keep pushing it.
I don't know if that makes the fence. Yeah.
Probably doesn't help it.
They do get in there a lot.
Oh, every day. Every
I
day.
hear the peacocks.
So Brandy, we got 4 families waiting on these feeder pigs.
Aren't we one?
Yeah. So what we do, Brandy's probably told you guys, but we've been raising pigs for hogs for about, I don't know, 8-9 years now. And we usually try to do it for some families at church.
Yeah.
Food grade. I thought that was a rainwater catchment system.
And I know some people get bothered by, like, if you're talking to the pigs and kind of treating them like a pet, but we just try to give them a good life, but then we know what purpose they have, and the kids do also. But you saw that we can pet them and they're used to us.
Yeah.
So that way when we do need to load them up that day, that it's a lot easier, they trust us and everything. So look at their little bellies.
Hey, start picking these rocks up and selling them.
Yeah, they dig up some. Can I pet your
They
belly?
dug up all of them.
Can I pet your belly?
Big.
I don't know if they like belly rubs like Pearl and Percy. Pearl and Percy fall over. I know it. Okay guys, thank you so much for stopping by today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to check out the Jackery links below. See you on the next one. Bye.